Alrighty, one of the last things that we're going to talk about is AutoConfiguration. This gets confused quite a bit with the ACP. It is not the ACP, because the ACP, the computers actually get an IP address from a pool of addresses. All right, what AutoConfiguration is, it allows you just to put in a network prefix, a prefix length, and then at the end of that you would put EUI64. And what Cisco routers do, it actually generates the interface ID portion of the address by getting the MAC address of the interface and padding it, as they call it, with the triple FE smack in the middle. Not to mention changing that 7th bit in the front, right, in the first section of the interface ID, the 7th bit, not the first section, the second section actually, to a number 2, all right, letting us know if it's local or global, all right. And that's when we'll look at it, you'll see what I'm talking about. But this is very simple. But in order to make this work, remember, anything we're doing with IP, you need to make it a habit. If you start doing IPv6, make it a habit to always put IPv6 unicast routing, all right? Or things will not work like they should, or will not work at all. So, with that said, let's go ahead and start configuring. I can see the IP, the computers down here. I'll have them set to static, all right? Both of them, you can see that, right? They're static. All right, this one the same. And then when we configure, then I'll change them to AutoConfig, and they should receive an address. All right, so let's go ahead and maximize this one router. This is not a very complex topology here. Well, they know they have been really complex. Just to show you, hey, this is the configuration. You expand on that, you know, if you want to create bigger and bigger and bigger scenarios. But, you know, just, I mean, I don't want to go off on a tangent here. But when it comes to the CCNA exam, 3 routers at the most, you know, that you're going to have. Not going to give you this huge topology or nothing like that that you need to look at or configure or anything like that. Switches, you know, you look at 4 switches. That's it. And it's not really, you know, you configuring the switches, because the only thing really that you hands-on is configuring, you know, like a router or an access list, or maybe doing some commands on a switch or something like that. That's it. That's it. All right. As you go further in your certifications, CCNP level, you got the T-shoot. Okay. It's a little bit different. A couple more routers on there. Okay. And now the CCIE, I believe they've added 30 routers. It's virtual though. It's virtual. But just so you can be aware, because how things are done. All right, for the CCIE certification. Since there's so many routers and there's so many technologies that they're testing you on, they do not expect you to memorize all the commands. They actually have a browser within the window that you go take your test in, and you can obviously only go to Cisco documentation. You can't go anywhere else. You can't Google, all right, no YouTube. But you can go to Cisco documentation. One of the things that they want you to do is know how to browse or map through, or, you know, navigate through, I should say, navigate through their browser window to get to the right documentation to get the configurations, and then use those as templates for your configuration. All right, so as hard as you get in the certifications, I mean, CCIE is an 8-hour exam, okay, which is broken up into 3 sections: a 2 hours troubleshooting section, a 30-minute analysis diagnostic section, and a 2.5-hour configuration session, which is troubleshooting as well. But either way, configuration section. So it's a long test. So they don't expect you to know every last single command. You can't. I mean, it's only if you've been doing it for, you know, 50 years, and then things change as you go along anyway. But just to throw it out there, okay? So when it comes to the CCNA, you ain't got to go crazy with all these configurations. Now, obviously, in the CCNA test, you're not going to have a browser window where you can search the Cisco documentation. You are not going to have that. You need to know these basic configurations, okay? This is a foundation exam, very foundation exam. Just how to throw that out there, because I know everybody's trying to create these intricate scenarios, all right? But remember, again, I say it again, the goal is to get the certification out of the way so you can move forward into your future certifications. All right. Anyway, enough blabbing on my part. Let's go ahead and do the auto config. Config T. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the host name. Let's do a host name. Why not? Right? R1. I don't feel like doing uppercase. R1, and let's go to the interface. Interface. That's what I said, right? Interface F00, and the IP address. What network are we using? I think I changed it a little bit. Oh yeah, 2001 48 dead 8000. So you can play around with the IP address. I like that. Oh, before we even do that, I'm not even following my own rule. That's messed up. IPv6 unicast routing. Turn that on, please. Turn that on, please. Thank you. I'll be like at the OSPF. Can you please turn on? All right, never mind. Interface F0/0. IPv6 address 2001:4800:dead:/64 space EUI-64. All right, we'll do a no shut on that. Cool. Do WR, Control Z. Let's do a show IPv6 route. Okay, and now you can see that we're connected to this particular network, right? And there's the local address. Here's 2001 dead 8000. But take a look what it generated automatically. Oops. What it generated automatically for me. Okay. These numbers, I didn't put them in there. I just put this, and it gave me this. You see the FFF7 or FFE, sorry. And here's that too, that UL bit. Okay. Because you see there's only 3 here, where there's normally 4, correct? So the first number, which is 0, is 4 zeros, right? And then this is the hexadecimal value of 1. So that 7th bit got turned on, making this a 2. That's called the UL bit. That's all there is to that. Okay, but it generated the other numbers randomly based off the MAC address. Well, not randomly, based off the MAC address of the interface. And that's one of the things that people don't like. Now, hey man, not only my IP address, now I got my MAC address on there too. Which is kind of, but hey, what are you going to do? Okay, so it's one way of doing things. You know, if you don't like it, don't do it. All right, then we go to our PCs. And we put auto config. And there you go. You see that's the proper gateway, okay, that we see there. And then we go to the other one. Auto config. Boom. There it is. All right. And let's see if we can ping our gateway. All right. I'm going to copy paste because I'm definitely not going to remember this number. Okay. Right there. Copy. And let's go to the PC. And definitely got to bring this out for this ginormous address. Paste. And there is our reply from our gateway. No big deal. This is what auto configuration is. You know, being tested, they'll ask you, obviously, I don't know if they'll go as deep as the UL bit, but just know about it. It's no big deal. It just says, hey, if you're using auto configuration, yes, I'm going to use the MAC address to generate a random number, but a MAC address is only 48 bits, so I got to throw in there a triple FE to make it 64 bits. And by the way, the 7th bit, I'm just going to change that, turn on the 7th bit, and it's going to be a 2. Okay? That's all you really got to remember about auto configuration. No big deal. No big deal. But again, that's why people get confused with DHCP. Please don't. You said I didn't create a DHCP pool or nothing like that. It's completely different. All right? Well, there you go. That's auto config. And then I will see you in the next lecture.